Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. Listen, haven't done this in a long time, but Love and Marriage Huntsville is back on. So tonight, we're doing a recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Not sure if you saw it the other night. When did it come on? Saturday. But if you didn't, go check it out. The show wasn't bad. We got stuff to talk about. Apparently, the Crimestoppers were looking for Kiki. Okay, was all on the news and everything else. We're going to talk about it, right? You know they want to talk about Bravo and Bravo knowing about the mental health of their particular talent. But do you think Kiki should be on somebody's TV? Kiki is apparently going through a lot, and I know we want to say, well, reality is reality, but should she be on the TV? Kiki is going through a lot right now, and I'm not sure she's going to be able to get the proper help by being on our screens. But we'll talk about it. We got Tiffany had the baby, cute baby. Okay. We got Marcel and Courtney, the men's. The men's had a conversation, okay, about this $100 booth fee. Let's say this. Let me tell you something. When it comes to $100, if I didn't have my business all in order, I would have chucked it up to the game. Sometimes you do stuff and you mess up and you say, you know what? Now I know for the next time I won't be doing that again, but I'm not about to be in somebody's face over no $100. Oh, pretty me, Jay, you was in New York this past week and you enjoyed it your first time. Yeah, New York is New York, honey. Ain't nothing like New York, okay? I'm telling you right now, New York, you can always have a good time. I'm glad you had a good time out there in the city, okay? Then we got Tisa and Kimmi. Tisa and Kimmi was talking, and you know, I like Kimmi, but Kimmi be all over the place. One minute she team A, the next minute she team B, the next minute she team C. She's just all over the place. But we're going to talk about Kimmi, okay? And then whoa, that conversation between Martell and Chris. Martell, you a whole grown man, and you think somebody else has to be concerned about your housing? Hot mess. We're going to talk about it. And then we got, you know, Kimmi and Maurice. You know what? Kimmy's a good one. She's a good wife. You better give it up for Kimmi in that chat. That chick is a good wife. Because I be darned. Me and Maurice, woo, woo. I probably would have bopped him upside the head already. He's a piece of work. A piece of work. We're going to talk about it. Then, you know, Courtney and Stormy. I'm glad Stormy is getting her business organized. Want to see that girl win with her hair care products. And then you got Melody went to visit Kiki. And that conversation was, oh, what a piece of work, okay? Tiffany turned you off again. I don't think Tiffany is going to recover her image on this show. I really don't. We rooting for you, Tiffany. We rooting for you in the name of Tyra Banks. I don't know if she gonna have no recovery moment. But y'all know what I need. Come on now in the chat. Y'all know what I need because I'm about to board this train for our Monday night recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I need a what? Come on, Roy World nephew Roy. I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. Now I hope you ain't cheating the diva on this Monday night. Hit that like button. That's right. Come on. We're doing a what? A choo-choo. I'm about to board this train because the people are on the platform waiting to get in the building. Hey, Ryan.
Listen, honey, the people made me drink glad tonight. Like, oh my God.
Come on, get your
It
drink
looks
on.
good.
Get your drink
Thank
on.
you.
Oh, you went over there to Chef Kev Card and got you something to drink?
Girl, because the people had me clutching my pearls tonight. I was like, you know, I caught it tonight. I didn't get to catch
Not clutching your pearls.
Clutching the pearls, honey. Clutching
it
the
was the opening
pearls.
of the
Okay.
jail. Like, I
Ooh.
was like,
Oh,
Kiki.
Tiffany. The people ain't doing Tiffany. Oh.
See,
Y'all not gonna cut Tiffany no breaks. All
and
right,
I tried
well.
to tell you about that, Tiffany, and we love you, Tiffany. We appreciate you coming through. But I told you when she came through, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. I
You
feel
ain't
like
fall for it?
Tiffany can go.
This she come with all the time, and here she goes. She opened up the episode with it. Shame.
Oh, darn.
But we love you, girl.
Darn. We love you, though. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So, you know, we open up, and it's Tiffany and the cute baby, okay? Tiffany and the cute baby. And, you know, wait, let me back up. No, they was messy. They opened up with Crimestoppers. That's how they opened up. I almost forgot. They opened up with Crimestoppers, okay? They opened up showing Kiki.
Open and ended.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and Kiki.
Open and ended with Crimestoppers.
Okay. They opened up with Kiki in the Home Depot. Allegedly, uh, allegedly taking stuff and had the kid with her.
Mm-hmm.
Not the kids. Had the kid with her. And then when the loss prevention people stopped her, she said, here go your stuff. But allegedly told the little kid, keep the lock, keep the one item you got. Then she peels out of there, and they were dramatic. Yeah, the Crimestoppers, honey. They were dramatic. They said she almost hit some cars, hit 2 cars trying to get up out of there. Okay? And they had her all up in the TV in Huntsville. Talking about if you seen her, you know anything, we got $1,000 reward for you. Child, they was looking for Kiki. That's how they opened up Love and Marriage Huntsville. Unless they did, you better give it up to Carlos King with the drama. Okay. Getting the Crimestopper video and everything. Okay. And it was Kiki face. Now that was Kiki. Then we got Tiffany and baby. Melanie Cherie goes over to see Tiffany and the baby. The baby's adorable. Looks like a mixture of Tiffany and her husband, Big Lou. Okay, Tiffany was giving the baby the best milk, giving the baby the breast milk, and she wanted to do a video because everybody doing a sip and see. So she gonna have her own version of a sip and see so they can see baby Ace. Okay, she wanted the people to come meet baby Ace, and Melanie did the video for her. She tried to drag Melanie into the shenanigans, but Melanie blocked it. She was like, Melanie, did you see the Crimestopper video? Melanie was like, uh-huh. And Melanie, the whole theme throughout this particular episode was innocent until proven guilty. Did they send a group text? Because everybody was like, innocent until proven guilty, okay? And so Melanie really didn't want to get into it. She's saying, if Kiki need help, we wish her well. We want her to get help. And Tiffany was like, you don't care about your brand, about being associated with someone that is a thief and bringing the kids along with them, okay? And so that was that. That's what happened there. All right. So let's continue on. Sheila, I'm ready to bring you in. You want to keep your camera on, or you gonna put your avatar up? Let me know. I'm about to bring you in, boo. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. All right. So make sure you got me muted, so we won't hear you in the background. All right. So okay, so that was Tiffany and Mel. And then Melody did the whole video for Tiffany and her baby invite or whatever the case may be. Now, honey, when Courtney went over to see Marcel, okay, Courtney, sometimes I don't know what Courtney quite be saying, but he's saying something, okay. I don't know. It could be me. I'll take it. Maybe it's me because I'm like, did Courtney say something? Did he come over here to handle business? Okay, and he gotta have some water. Shout out to just drinking some water. Okay, he said, no, I'll just take some water. Give me water because we got to talk. He's talking to Marcel. Marcel's slick with that mouth. He's so slick with that mouth, Marcel. He's so slick with that mouth. He's arrogant. He's messy. Okay. And Courtney told him, you like to be in the ladies' business. And then Marcel gonna throw it back on him. He said, that's nice coming from a man that sells lady products.
That was a good one.
That was a read. Now that was a read. I know. See, Marcel, he being the female. He another Patricia, another
Patricia.
Like,
yes, he is.
Stop being a damn bitch all the time. Excuse me.
Marcel is married.
Why you gonna do that to Courtney? Okay.
You have to call Marcel Mary.
It's better than selling the scam he's selling.
Yeah. So then you know what all Courtney could do, because Courtney know he got Trump. So all Courtney could do was he just threw all his money up on the table, and then he left. Okay. Because Marcel punked him. Marcel is a mess. Okay. Listen, Pretty BJ, he said, don't do that, diva country, classic country.
Classic
yeah,
country
you know what? I like it because he take up for his wife, but I didn't know what he was saying. I'm like, Courtney, come on, you came all the way over here, bring it. I don't know what he was saying. He said a bunch of nothing, okay? Bunch of nothing. And he let Marcel punk him all the way out the darn Blaque lounge. Well, I'll just do those 3 scenes for right now. Warrior, what are your thoughts on those 3 scenes?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go a little backwards. Marcel and Courtney, like you said, that was a bunch of nothing jibber jab that Courtney was talking. He definitely punked him out. And see, I was ready because Courtney said he was drinking water. So I was like, oh, he got to stay sober so he can read down, okay? And he got read down, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, money does trump all. So shut the mouth and throw the money on the table. That's what it's really about. I mean, and that's what he did. You know, Marcel still took the money as he was begging for $100. I mean, what's $100? If you was $10,000 over budget, what was $100 gonna do?
Exactly.
Nothing. That was like a penny at that point in time. So yeah. This opening scene. Now, one thing I will say is, Carlos, you opened up the second part of the season real well now. Scandalous. Woo, that's what it was giving.
Scandalous.
Scandalous. I was like, oh,
scandalous.
Touch my pearls and sip my wine.
Ciao.
Help us, Lord. Kiki, I am just totally, if this is allegedly true, I am totally disappointed that you allowed this kid to be a part of this whole ordeal. This baby has nothing to do with your struggles or issues that you allegedly have. And now that you have involved this child into this, he will forever be known to be a part of this. This may affect him later on down the line when he's trying to get a job and, you know, get in school, because, you know, schools look at that kind of stuff now. Jobs look at that. All they got to do is type and Google your name and boom, there you are, stealing out the Home Depot. They don't want you. This is a shame.
Isn't really, it shame? That was very sad. We can't look that over. Very, very sad. Wait, before you continue, Roy, I'm gonna let you continue. You know what? Somebody out there is using my picture. If you see these trolls in the street, please report them or whatever. This is like the 3rd or 4th email I got. You see this where somebody's using my picture. They have a different name there, thick and
juicy. Don't get slapped in these YouTube streets.
I know.
Don't be coming for my aunt.
I know. And so, yeah, but this is like the 3rd or 4th time somebody's told me that someone has taken my picture and they're trolling different chats, you know, using my picture under a different name. I thank the person that sent me this email, but I promise you, it's like the 3rd or 4th person. It's crazy.
Well, you know what, Auntie?
Yeah.
You can always be duplicated, but never imitate. Or you can always be imitated, but never duplicated.
Come on now.
And, you know, the people, you know, it's some haterade going on in these streets. Let's just keep it real and 100%. You won't say it, but I will. There's some haterade going on in these streets, and we ain't having it. So, you know, we're glad that people would like to copy you. But please, if you do see those out here in these streets, immediately block that individual, you know, report their page, whatever you can do, because this ain't nothing but Satan. So sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, but they mess with Kiki with that Crimestoppers opening it up with that. And what did you think about? What did you think about Tiff and Mel and the
Mel? You know, Mel is looking good as always. You know, I will always give that to Mel. She is looking good. She knows how to come in and just tear a scene down as far as looks. She looks good on a regular basis. So shout out to Mel, whoever is doing her face, whoever's keeping that skin up. Honey, you look beautiful, and that body is looking amazing. That's one thing we can say about Mel. She done been through hell and high water, but she don't look like what she been through. And we thank the Lord for that. Regarding Tiffany, you know, Mel was coming to visit you and check on you and your mental stability. But instead, you would rather talk about someone else's, you know, mental stability and their lifestyle. You know, I'm really confused on what Tiffany's beef is with what's her name? Tisha's cousin, Keke. What's your beef? And you know, it's one thing when somebody's down, but then to kick them when they down, like, Mel, why would you want somebody like this around your business? You know, da. Quite frankly, I feel sad for her and feel bad for her. You can't feel that bad and sad, and you sit up here talking about the chick like a dog. I mean, you didn't spill none of your business. You was too busy talking about Kiki. Hence why you don't have no storyline going on Love and Marriage Huntsville, because you always talking about Kiki and somebody else's situation. This was a perfect opportunity for us to get into a deeper storyline of what's going on with Tiffany, what's going on with baby Ace, what's going on with the other 2 or 3 children that y'all have, and what's going on with Big Lou. That is why Mel came over here. Not for you to gossip about everybody else on the cast.
Child, listen. How you feel about Marcel and Courtney's conversation?
Like I said, I really thought because Courtney only took water, I just really thought he was gonna get Marcel together. And granted, like he did give the money, and that's like I said, at the end of the day, it's about the money. Like if you can pull out the money, show me better than you can tell me. Period. Point blank. But don't come over here to check me. You done pulled up on a random trying to come check me. You doing your little pimp walk in the video, and it was just a bunch of mamma jamma talk about nothing. Stormy was better off getting Marcel together than you was. We might as well let Stormy have done the job. Or better yet, Stormy mama.
Well, boom. In my opinion, your thoughts on those 3 scenes?
Okay, so first of all, we're gonna start off with the opening scene with Kiki on the screen. And let me tell you something. Like, this is the 3rd time I've seen it because I'm in Alabama. So for me to see it and then for them to pan into the cars again, and it was like, you know, and then for them to confirm that it was her car, I was like, oh, okay, so that is her car. Because we was here, we didn't want to report it because we didn't know if it was her or not. Right. You know, you go real fast when they're showing it on the news. They don't just show it like they showed it on here. I mean, they showed a flat screen of it and just left it there. So yeah, you really got to see that it is her. Let me tell you something. Whatever Kiki going through, I'm gonna need her to take time away from social media, from fighting on YouTube, from fighting, trying to be down with the bloggers, from trying to be on Love and Marriage Huntsville. I need her to get her life together because we rooting for you to do better than what you're doing. And right now, you running amok, and it seems like you need to be in somebody's rehab center getting yourself together. Tiffany, Lord have mercy. I keep praying that one of these episodes I'm gonna like her, and it's just not clicking. Baby Ace was the best thing out of it, and I was like, why did she copy Candy Baby name like that? Like she just straight snaked her baby.
Candy, we need you to strike this name.
Don't
Candy.
do that. Don't do that. Ace is a free name to the whole public. Don't do that to her. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm just saying, you know, she could have came up with something a little more.
Diva standing up for somebody else other than Candy. Okay, come on.
You messy.
Okay, and so let me tell you that the Courtney and Marcel, I kind of take this a little different than y'all take it. Because here's the thing, he's a man. And he's not that vibrato man that's gonna fight and fuss with you. Like, he gonna say what he gotta say and be done with it. So I wasn't expecting him to have all this mouth and, you know, dot, all this, you know what I'm saying? Like, he let it be known, and he didn't give the money to Marcel. He gave the money to the bartender, and he said, make sure you keep it all. And he kept flicking it out, He was letting them know, while you talking about I got a business that sell women products, at least we ain't no scammers. Okay, we ain't bringing out no house just to do remodels on ours. We got a whole lot of property over here. You need to get on our level. Okay, so yeah, he was letting them know. Okay, I think he shut them down, but that's just my opinion.
No, you know what? At the end with the money, but you know what? Marcel is messy. He's so messy. But thank you. Juanita, your thoughts on those 3 scenes?
Real quick though, in my opinion, just made a good point. If they were to get into a fight, who do you think would win, Diva?
Courtney.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Marcel.
Courtney is so laid back he wouldn't even dignify Marcel with even, stepping, like fighting him or whatever. Because listen, they got a lot to lose. Their business is legit, Canvas Beauty. And so I don't even see Courtney going there. Like he said, I drop stacks, right? And he did check and win, because Marcel tried to say, he said, you know what type of business I'm talking about. And he said, don't be trying to say because y'all put it on the internet. Y'all need to stop, because your own sister-in-law said you didn't charge everybody that $100. They can't do business. They messy. I do like the way it was handled by Courtney.
Oh, and Diva, hey, they trying to get into hair business with that Mila and
hello. But I do like the way that Courtney handled it, but I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what is he saying? What, Juanita, your thoughts?
Okay, I would love to see Kiki get herself together. Right now she needs to take a break.
Yeah.
And mental health, mental illness, or I don't know if I could say the word, but can I say drug abuse?
Yeah.
Or
Okay. Substance abuse. It's real. And if this is something she's been doing for a long time, she may have relapsed. And I just feel for her, and I just hope that she gets the help that she needs, because it's hard out there. And the way people are judging her and everything, but you don't know the full story. But now she was wrong for having a child there with her, because you don't do that. You don't drag a child into some mess like that. And Tiffany is a hot mess, but I love the way that Mel shut her down. And she did it in a nice, nasty way. She did it in a nice, nasty way. As far as Courtney and Marcel, well, I wish Courtney had said a little more, but he proved himself by throwing those stacks down. Bam, 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 bam. Now you give her this for the glass of water that I had.
The glass of water I had.
And that shut
he
Marcel
did shut it down with that.
Marcel might have read him, but he read him even better with those stacks he was dropping. I think I counted about 400 or 500 he dropped down there, because he just kept bam, 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 bam. Now you take that. This is what I do, and then I ain't asking nobody for no $100.
Yeah, Marcel is messy. He's messy. And to know that you didn't charge everybody, and then on top of that, they spoke at your event. I wouldn't have came at them for no money. But you know what though? At the end of the day, Marcel and Tisa, their luck is gonna run out.
Oh yeah. I believe that. And I think they're trying to be the next Melanie and Martell.
Absolutely, wholeheartedly.
No way.
But they're never going to live up to that.
No way.
And yes, Marcel did, Miss Wilson. He told that waitress to give me that money. Because honey, she picked it up. She was like, she scooped it up off of there. He said, you take all that. He picked that money up. She was like, thank you. He said, for my glass of water. Oh, okay.
I would have been like, "Whoo, I'm feeling a little faint. I think I need to go home for the day."
I would have left too. Emmanuel, what are your thoughts on those three scenes?
First of all, let's give it up to Letitia Scott, because her family is the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, from her husband, her mom, her cousin, herself. So let's give it up to her. I personally don't like Tiffany. I definitely didn't like her last season, but I'm kind of with her in this situation, because listen, the news had just came out. Of course she was going to talk about it. And she's right. I mean, would y'all like to be associated with someone who the police was looking for? Probably not. So yeah, she was just raising a question that I think was fair. And Mel needs to stop talking in these subliminal messages, talking about you can't believe everything you see on the television. I'm gonna need her to keep it all the way real, because she is a little bit annoying when she does that. With Marcel and Courtney, okay, this is why I hate that they split the season, because it feels like a new season, but it's still the same. So we already talked about this issue months ago, but I'm kind of team Marcel on this, because this is the thing. The Blaque Expo was a business event.
Mm-hmm.
In business, there is no male, female, husband, wife. It's none of that. It's strictly business. And y'all know that. So I think it was very uncalled for Stormy to make this into a big issue and involve her husband. I mean, if this was a real work example, and let's say, for example, one of y'all, you had a manager, right? You had a manager. Are you going to tell your manager, I'm going to talk to my husband to come talk to you? No, this is business. We're not involving families. We're not involving spouses in this. So I get it. And listen, with that, I also got to put Marcel's feet to the fire. Since it is business, you got to be a little bit more professional. And if you were going to charge everyone. So I will agree on that. But Stormy and Courtney were very out of pocket to do that. Very unprofessional. You do not do that.
I love you dearly, but I disagree. Mary Marceau needs to stay out of women's mess. Because that's all he do is he approach the women, but he won't approach the men. So Mary Marceau need to mind her manners.
Mind her manners.
Y'all crossed the night.
Oh my God. Let me tell you something. No, Emmanuel, all jokes aside, this was a business expo coordinated by a husband and wife that is supposed to be at least friends with us. Let me tell you this right here. If a man, and he knows I'm married, want to step to my face and think he going to get cute, you better be 100% sure that I'm going to tell my husband, and Stormy let him know ahead of time. You don't want none of Courtney. So that's telling you right there, I'm going to tell Courtney, okay? You darn Skippy, I'm going to tell my husband, because you need to know that you won't be stepping in my face no more just like that. You're going to get checked. He needed to get checked. How do you run a business? Like Courtney said, now Courtney did say this too. So if we had to do a point system on that conversation, even though some of it I need to reinterpret what Courtney said, he won. Because like he said, if you do business, who's going to let somebody set up their whole booth and you didn't get paid? Where they do that at? No business will do that. Soon as you come in and they look at the checklist and it says not paid, they're going to pull you to the side and say, okay, before I can even show you a space, and you set up, you need to handle this $100. But so I have my corner, my space. Get out my face now. You talking about, no, get out my face. I'm over here setting
also,
up.
Courtney is just as much as an equal business partner as Stormy, just like Marcel and Tisha. So, I mean, didn't Tisha go to Stormy about the $100? You know, didn't she address Stormy about the $100 as well?
She didn't want to do it. That's why Marcel got mad at Tisha, and he probably checked that night because she didn't back him. And that's why when they went to that lunch, she tried to get on Stormy, and Stormy was like, "That's a day old. Get out of here with that. I ain't doing that with you."
Marcel checked her that day, because when they go to the scene where Courtney and his wife are talking, they do a flashback. He pulled her to the side and got her together. Like, don't you go against me.
Yeah, gathered her all the way together. But let me tell you something. Husbands tell wives, and wives tell their husband, you better go check him. Tell him don't ever come in my face again.
Oh, so now y'all need a man to talk for y'all?
Emmanuel, don't start.
Well, apparently your girl
against another man, I wouldn't want no man. I wouldn't want no man attacking no female, just like I wouldn't want no female attacking no male. They need to handle it.
But so why is, hey, you got the money? We asked you, how is that an attack? She was the one who started calling him low
because
vibrational.
They never did tell them about the money. That's how it's an attack. You got to inform people that you need $100 first before you tell them, come on and show up. They just told them to show up. We need you there.
And what you don't do, Emmanuel, what you don't do, Emmanuel, is at the actual function when other people are around and can be an earshot. You coming to me asking about some $100. You better get out my face. And we got cell phones. If anything, you text me. But you want to come out in the open and ask me about some $100? Yeah, I'm gonna be pissed off too. You better get out my face with this nonsense. And then first you want to tell me about how I looked or didn't look. No, back up, bro. And I'm about to tell matter of fact, I'm calling Courtney right now. Lucky I didn't get him on the phone or speakerphone while you right here at this event. Because that's how I get down.
Not the speakerphone.
I'm bringing the phone.
Miss Wilson said Marcel and Tisha is the Shirley Strawberry and Ernesto of Huntsville.
Oh my God. Wait, who am I at? Savannah, what are your thoughts, Savannah? And I'm listening. I just gotta get my water. So handle the business, Bray. I'm gonna just get my water.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
can I
okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Miss Robin.
No, Savannah, you go ahead because you're up next. Go ahead.
Okay, because I'm on my second glass of sangria here because this is getting good. What I got from the Courtney Marcel scene is big bank take little bank. That's what I got, and I appreciated that he didn't come in there disrespectful. He came in there handling it man to man. Marcel has a habit of trying to check women. He did it with Tiffany. Big Lou had to come in and check him when he came out twisted out the mouth with Tiffany. He's done it with Kiki several times. I mean, Miss Wanda, Marcel has a and Melanie as well. So he has a habit of being a punk and checking women. So best believe if a man stepped to me, I'm gonna let my man know there's some business that needs to be handled. That's just it.
Come on now, drop them receipts. Drop them receipts.
Absolutely. With Kiki, I just think Kiki's going through some anxiety issues right now. I think she's not ready to be in front of the camera. She would like to be. She got too much going on with all that talking she did with Mel the other day. I got confused. She got a lot going on and that she want to do. I think she's even running for office. I don't know. She was talking so much. I don't know. Children's from being an author to getting, I don't know, Kiki. But when they did confirm that was her car, I was like, oh, because I also thought it was rumor of Tiffany being messy. That, when that first came out in last season. And I am mad that last season was hard to get through because it was so dry. And now he brings all the juicy stuff to this season. Yeah. I'm like, okay. So I said I was going to give it a chance. And it rained on Saturday. So I said, let me watch this show. So it was good. Tiffany's doing a lot. Lord have mercy, Tiff. I'm really trying to Tiffany to like her. But she's that. It's sad that she's allowing herself to play that villain role instead of because I'm pretty sure in her real life, when she did the interview on your platform, that I really liked her. I really thought she had some substance to her, and she seemed very knowledgeable and educated. But what I'm seeing, I don't like. And I know they chop these things up to make it all dramatic and whatnot, but she just did not come off like someone I really want in my corner. That's my girl. And,
And Savannah, if I could interrupt you for a second, I totally agree with you because I feel like the reason Tiffany is still on the narrative that she is because the way she was introduced to us. They did not really give Tiffany or Big Lou a storyline when they first came on. They were just the messy couple. When we were first introduced to her, she was talking about the commerce and she was talking about Kimmi and Maurice's son, with the e-cig or whatever that was. So she's just following in the character that she's been portrayed. And I hate that she continues to do so.
Right. And I was hoping that she changed it and the baby would probably change her and she would, be more about business and And I wasn't a fan of Melanie, but she's starting to grow on me. And now that I saw her yesterday, I really like how she played the situation. Like, I'm not going down this rabbit hole with you, Tiffany, and the same with Kiki. She just stood there and she looked good. Love her hair. She really looked good. And I'm not a really big fan of Melanie, but I appreciated her yesterday or this weekend. So I'm gonna go refill my glass because we got other scenes to discuss.
Yes.
Because Emmanuel done took me through it, and now Sebastian's on, so I'm gonna need more sangria. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Robin,
We love you.
Okay, go ahead, Sheila.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, this is my first time on, so I'm just really shocked that I made it.
Oh.
Tried to figure out how to do it.
Welcome.
Thanks. But I felt really bad for Kiki when they showed that. It was like, wow. And I can't lie. I kind of liked Tiffany talking her mess. only because somebody had to say it, you know. So why not be Tiffany, right? Because she's the messy one out of all of them. And I just don't like Mel. I never did. And they showed her a lot on this episode, and I was like done with her. So and I thought that Courtney came in hot, because as soon as he sat down, the first thing he mentioned was about the $100. And he's like, what did he say? He said something, and then Marcel said, yeah, everybody paid, but evidently, but your wife. So Courtney was on him from the very beginning. He was just calm and cool about it, but he was on him, and he told him to stay out of women's business. And he was saying it, but like Diva said, he was saying it very low, kind of mumbled but he was definitely saying what he had to say.
Yeah, we needed the interpreter.
Right, but I thought he put 20s down because he had stopped.
He did put 20s down.
Right, because
Marcel was being smart and said
there's
80 or something.
Yeah, he said that's 80 or something. Right. Yeah. So I know Marcel gonna go get that money from that waitress. So.
Yeah, he got that money from that waitress. Yes, he did. He ain't let it. Because for you to sit there and say that's 80, you just being a jerk. Like,
right, because he was counting it. Right.
He was definitely counting it. He's messy. My son was messy.
Yeah.
He going to meet his match though. Big Lou almost was like, yo, Robin, I'm gonna come to you, Sebastian. Robin, I'm gonna let you go, see if you be able to stay in. Are you there, Robin?
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Getting knocked out. Yep. Listen, really quick before they knock me out again. I really like the way that Lou came in there, because I don't think not Lou, Courtney. I didn't think that he came to show brute force. I feel like he came in there just to let him know I have my wife's back. That's the first thing. And he strikes me as a gentle giant. And I would be apologizing if I bumped into him by mistake, because I wouldn't want him to swing on me. Because I think that if he back up against the wall, he won't windmill. He'll be jabbing, punching, and landing. Period.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
I would say about the whole Kiki thing. When you compare and contrast Kiki's presentation and Tiffany's presentation, it really is pointing for me, I look at Carlos King and I say, you are so ridiculously exploitative in how you present reality. Now, I don't think that anyone has been forced to do these shows, but I find it to be so offensive, unsupportive, diminishing, degrading, and unhelpful to show something, especially the way they drag that arc out. Within the end, they're showing this film they keep talking about, and then no harm, no foul, nothing happened. It was ridiculous. But meanwhile, you have Tiffany and her. I don't believe that. I mean, you had Tiffany on your show. What we see is not all of who she is, but that's all of what we're getting. And I think that I always have to change my glasses when I watch a lot of reality, because this is pick and choose reality, and it's really offensive. It's unsupportive. And I'm telling you, I think that Carlos King, the way that he does a lot of his he only has a reality program. The way he does his programs and produces them, the Oprah Winfrey Network, OWN, is on its way to being renamed the Oppressed Women's Network. Period. Point blank. Between how badly they're treating and not supporting someone like Kiki, who has obvious substance use issues, to how crazy, because in case I get cut off, how Kimmi is allowing this man that she's married to debase, degrade, what's the other word? Just he's so disrespectful of her, and she discusses it. I think that I am really disliking, with a strong hate undertone, the way that women, especially, are presented on these shows. Period. Point blank. Done. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Robin. But you know what? I guess it's connecting to the Tyler Perry concept. Like, women, y'all just accept whatever. I mean, for Kimmi to have started out to seem like so strong, now to see this version of her is very disappointing. I'm telling you right now, but I would tell everybody, don't go by me, the single chick over here. But I'll tell you right now, no way, no how. No way, no how. No way, no how. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'll be like, yo, you better go do what you need to do. Cause you ain't gonna touch me now. How can I get into this with you and you complain every single second? Like I could not do it with Maurice. I could not do it with Maurice, but she, God bless her. That's all I can say. But we didn't get to that scene
yet. She's not doing it. She's getting done and being used, period. Sorry.
She's accepting it though. She's accepting it. Because in the break of the season, wait, give me 1 second, Robin. In the break of the season, I would have told this brother this. If we don't have no other storyline, if you come with this sex thing one more again, I'm done. Check that. So go in your book, ask your brother, figure something out. I don't care what we do. But what we ain't about to do is this sex thing. Because between the sex thing and what's his name? Monster, that's all they got. And you got a bigger thing you can be showing us. You survived breast cancer, girl. And we here with this stupid sex stuff. Go ahead, Robin. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I was done for now. As long as I don't get knocked out, I'm still here.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Sebastian?
Good evening, everyone. How are you all?
Hi, Sebastian.
Okay, we're gonna go nice first. Courtney came off disrespectful.
What?
Very abrasive.
Thank you.
Very low budget.
What?
Very non-entrepreneur.
Are you kidding me?
Speak on it.
How dare you?
What?
Are you talking about
waitress or whatever she was? I think, bartender. I mean, you did not give her that tip out of sincerity. You gave it to her just to spite Marcel. That is so disrespectful and low down. While a lot of them live on tips, that is so rude. So rude. Your wife did not pay. I understand that. I'd be mad too, especially the fact that later in the scene, we in the show, we realized that a lot of them got in for free. I'd be mad too, but that is so wrong of you to disrespect that. So wrong to disrespect Marcel in that way, even though Marcel's a little problematic himself. I understand Marcel was speaking to your wife. Yes, he has every right to speak to your wife. They were speaking not men to women. They were speaking entrepreneur to entrepreneur at that event. They were speaking entrepreneur to entrepreneur. And I'm tired of this notion that, he should have spoke to her wife. Yeah, to her husband. No, that's not what should have happened. That is not what should have happened at all. You are an entrepreneur. When you are an entrepreneur, you are in the upper league area. And therefore, we can speak to you however we want, like it or not, if you have a husband, if you have a wife, whatever. Both people can speak to each other equally, no matter what. It was very rude what happened at that event. Very rude. And no, the train has not crashed yet because I have a lot more.
Sebastian,
Train
I
crash.
think it's your
The train
It definitely
bedtime.
crashed. Because are you okay with your boss talking to you any your kind of way? Excuse my
Well,
friend.
that's the thing. That's the thing. If I know I'm an employee, I gotta know my place. When you're an employee, you gotta take whatever it is because you're the one you're just the number.
But she's not an employee.
Yeah.
Well, then she's an
She was an
entrepreneur speaking to
entrepreneur.
another entrepreneur. So therefore, all bets are off.
So if that was the
Entrepreneurs
case, then why didn't Tisha do it? Why didn't Tisha step up since she's the entrepreneur?
Well, we do know that Tisha lacks intelligence, as I always say. Tisha
that
is
doesn't give
degree
an excuse for
trained,
it. No.
not degree earned.
If we on that big level, like you said, Sebastian, we on the big levels. We got to step up and do the job, right? We got to step up.
Yeah.
Certain people like
And
Tisha
Marcel
who are
was half
dumb,
step.
who
Marcel
don't
was
have a
half step. That was
backbone,
wrong.
who don't have a backbone like Tisha. A lot of people like Tisha don't have a backbone. And as I will always say, Tisha is one of the most dumbest people on national television. Yes, she has 3 degrees, but you can be book smart and lack street smarts.
Sebastian, you still got milk behind your ears.
Yeah,
It's your
let me say this,
nighttime,
Sebastian.
It's your night
A
time.
true entrepreneur, I told you I've been to a lot of those expos and events. There's no way you even gonna have a table with your name on it if you did not pay that final payment before the day of the event. Nobody's coming in your face. If they truly run those events and know what to do, why? Because they factor in all of those paid tables into the bill that they have coming that they need to pay. So no, they're not coming to you at the event and you setting up. And they dictate your space and how much space you're going to have and the size table you're going to have before you even get there. So, well, you want to know why Stormy thought she could just go take a whole corner? Because they were unorganized. It should have been a table with their name on it, number 24, and in the list at the door, and the person at the door waiting. Oh, what's your business name? Oh, Canvas Beauty. Your section 24 over there in the back is a number on the table with your name on it, and you would have known ahead of time that you had some 8x11 table, Dr. Who. So no, they do not know how to do business, and no, you're not getting no $100 from me the day of, and you have me as a speaker. And usually when the person is speaking, they get their table for free
and they get paid.
Well, this is different because you know why? Because this is a low budget event. As much as I did not like the way Courtney spoke to Marcel, I can acknowledge that this was a low budget event. This event was very low budget. It lacked intelligence. It lacked a lot of
double talking, Sebastian.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
You can't have it both ways, Sebastian.
You saying it was a low value event. You say it was a low value event. It wasn't organized, but yet he had the right to come in stormy face to get this $100.
Of course, that's his money. Of course.
No, he messed up. You lost out.
Of course.
You lost out. Where's your contract? I don't have to give you nothing. Where's the contract? Where's the contract?
Because that's what the judge is gonna ask for. Where the contract at? That's what Judge Maybelline gonna say.
That was very ghetto.
Judge Maybelline gonna be like, "Did you have a contract?" No. Case dismissed.
Well, even Judge Joe Brown will ask for a contract. So no contract.
Did we lose
it was
Perry?
online. Just because you put it online don't mean that that the people paid. It has to be in the contract that I signed. I must pay $100 before I am able to set up my booth. Not when I get there and set up everything, then I pay the $100.
Exactly. And the contract is given to you up front when you have the meeting with the proprietor.
Come on. Whoa.
Come on,
Chi-Town, thank you for the words. Yes, you get the dimension. They ask you, do you need electricity? And if you do need electricity, it's going to be more money because the electrician got to come there and set up in your individual area with the plug. And they even tell you, if you pay for electricity and somebody else want to try to use your electricity, they cannot. Your booth next to you can't be sucking off your electricity. They do not allow that to happen. So, Sebastian, you will be doing business just like Marcel. So
No, I
good
would
luck
not
with
be
that.
doing business
Good
like
luck with that.
Marcel.
Good luck with that. Because you
I will
connected
not
with
be
him.
doing this. I will not be doing business like Marceau. Number one, first of all, as I always said, this was a low budget event, so therefore anything was prone to happen. This event was not a top tier event, so this was always prone to happen. I will always say this: Courtney was disrespectful no matter what. Even if this was a low budget event, he was disrespectful. How dare you do that?
And so was Stormy.
Yeah, Stormy was very disrespectful for
Mhm.
someone who said that they needed their husband to be there. Well, sweetheart, you fended for yourself well.
Exactly.
I'm moving on because I
That's what you
cannot with
should
that
do.
too. Okay, so we have a scene, and let me tell you, this whole show, even though people may be mad at Tiffany starting it off, all of them talked about that Crimestoppers scene. Every scene we went to, that Crimestoppers situation was talked about. Okay, so now Tisa and Kimmi meet up, and you okay? Tisa and Kimmi meet up, and Tisa's in the new house. She in the new house. I don't know what that new house situation is about, but she's in the new house, okay? And she's in there fixing it up. Kimmi comes over, and you know what? Thank God, Kimmi is done with radiation and chemo. Shout out to Kimmi. They was talking about Stormy and what happened with Stormy. Tisa says she's not sure she's coming to Tiffany to see house to see baby Ace. And now Tisa talked about all Crimestoppers said is they was looking for her and they had $1,000 reward. Kiki said, I hope she's not back on the pills. She said, I'm praying for her that she get herself together. She also said that somebody else told her when you have a dealer, sometimes the dealers tell you to go steal stuff. And she said, I hope she's not about that life right now anymore. I hope she didn't go back to that. That's what her own cousin said about her. So all Tiffany did was ask a question. Her cousin dropped more dime talking about, well, is she back on the pills? Did she take this for a dealer? What's going on? They had a picture. They looking for her. That's what her cousin said. All right. So that was Tisa and Kimmi. The scene with Martell and Chris, all I could say is wow. Wow. Martell was pissed because Chris is not finding a grown man someplace to live. Martell feels like he can stay in a house that's sold until he finds a place to live. Well, I was sitting there looking at that scene like, what is going on here? The M's are all alike on that show. Martell, Marcel, and Maurice, they one and the same. They just different levels of the same. They feel entitled. Everybody owes them something. He was legitimately telling this man, well, where you want? You gonna put me and my kids out? And then he told told Chris, the seller can't put me out. And Chris, you know what? If I had to give a window between that scene, it was definitely Martell. Because Martell punked Chris all day long, and Chris could barely stand up for himself. And Chris was pissed because Martell dragged him in the court. Chris, I'm gonna need you to man up, speak up. You tell Martell you need to get out this house now. Get the packing, pack your boxes, and go find some place to live. Y'all know I be messing up the names. Not Tisa, not listen.
I think that's
Tisa.
her nickname. I think Tisa is her nickname, though.
I don't know, but
I've
I'm
heard
calling
someone
her
call her
Tisa.
that.
But thank you, ZD. I be messing up the names. So I appreciate you. I do, right? So Martell is a mess. Okay, and Chris was pissed because he was subpoenaed. And so then we got this scene with Kimmi and Maurice. All I can say is Maurice is a jerk. He's a jerk. But you know what's funny? He don't even give a darn how he's coming off course on this TV. He could care less. But you know what? If Kimmi thinks that that's all she deserves, what are we gonna do? Okay, she, for the most part, every time I see a scene with Kimmi and her husband, she looks miserable. When I see a scene with Kimmi and the girls, she looks happier. Right? So if your husband is making you that miserable, what are we doing here? This man will not even really recognize the fact that you went through a traumatic experience that many people don't survive. You survived chemo, radiation, and you worked through that chemo and radiation. And this man is worried about your sex drive. And he's so stupid. Little does he know, if he wasn't so worried about it, if he was being more kinder to her about this thing, she probably would snap back even quicker. He's a mess. I couldn't deal with him. I could not. Okay, but I wished him well. He's a whole hot mess. And then you know what? I like the fact that Courtney and Stormy, they got their little factory or whatever going on with the business and the products. Come on now. When you have and I'm gonna take it as, I don't know her whole background, so don't be trying to throw the daggers at me. But when you have somebody that started out at ground zero, I did read part of her story and how she said in her dream, God was coming to her, telling her how to mix the different stuff for these products. And she started Canvas Beauty, and she used to do hair. Give it up to the girl. I don't care about how you feel about her personally. She did the darn thing. She got first generational wealth for her baby. She got a husband. I give it up to them. And those two, he does not. And what I like about Courtney is he don't seem like the jealous type. He's not jealous of his wife. He's really a true partner with her. I like those two. And shout out to Canvas Beauty. Okay. Now, we in this thing with Melanie and Keke. And all I can say is woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo, woo. Keke was all over the place. She just got out the hospital. She been in the hospital twice. The back was hurting. It was a whole situation. She got a children's book she's about to put out, but she also going to do some poetry. She got speaking engagements. You know, she got everything's coming all at her once. Keke's a hot mess. And I will say this. I think in her position, she probably doesn't want to go inpatient, because if she was inpatient, how would she do the show? But I'm going to say this. Coming on this show in the vulnerable position that she's in, I don't think it was a good move, but those are my thoughts. Roya, what are your thoughts on those last few scenes?
Kimmi and Maurice, you know, I just have kind of like the feeling that Tyra had. We were all rooting for you. You know, we were rooting for you through this cancer. We were rooting for Maurice to be a good husband. Mm-hmm. You know, we was giving Maurice props and telling him how supportive he's been, and you're doing such a good job. For you to turn around and just come out and be a complete asshole like the rest of these ninjas on TV. Mm-hmm. Sir! So rude, so disrespectful. As you said, Diva, your wife has been through a fight that most people don't make it through, if we want to be completely honest about it. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, not only was she going through the chemo and the cancer and the fight, but then you had the nerve to be stressing her out. And not just you stressing her out, Monster was stressing. Oh, I hate calling him that. Maurice Jr. was stressing him out.
No, he was not. Don't do that.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Kimmi was asking you to clean your room, do dishes, take out the trash, and you couldn't do the simple stuff that we was asking you to do. And this woman got cancer. And then your daddy won't back me for you to get out here and do the stuff. So I got to get up out of my bed, throw my wig on because my hair is falling out, and do the chores that you should be doing. That's sad. That's sad. That's true. Very ridiculous and very sad.
Come on, Royale.
And out of pocket, out of line. And as you also stated, Diva, you would think if you was a little bit nicer to her, to Kimmi, a little bit more sweeter, a little bit more understanding, she would get nice and wet and tingly down there. She'd be able to give you what you really want.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Sorry.
Woo, woo, woo.
Woo, 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 woo. woo. Okay. Hello. Is this mic on? Okay. Listen. Who else was on the docket? Who was up next?
Who, child? You know,
Martell.
Oh yes, child. Okay. I felt like I was watching a school scene. Martell was the principal, and his little friend was the student, and you're reprimanding this man for allowing you to be in a house that you're not supposed to be in. First of all, like, sir, how you gonna reprimand me for me trying to help you out? As he said, Martell is taking advantage of the friendship, and at this point, you the fool for continuing to be in this friendship. Foolish, so dumb. So dumb. And then you want to try to come in there and play upset because he subpoenaed you to court. Sir, the only reason you was mad was because your wife was cussing you out in the background because she wasn't allowed in the courtroom. Now let's just keep it real, okay? I thought Kimmi and Tisha's little spending time together was, cool. Tisha in an apartment, but you this big entrepreneur making things happen. Y'all betting for $100. Okay. Mel and cousin, what's her name?
Kiki.
Kiki.
I know individuals, and all jokes aside, I know a few individuals who do have substance abuse issues. And this just, to me, was a very perfect glimpse that Kiki is really struggling mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. She talked about the weight loss that she's lost in, the 8-month period, the weight gain that she's had. She talked about all these ventures that she wanted to do. She talked about, the whole incident and whether or not, what was really going down and how, whoop-doop-doop, like, it was just all over the place. And Mel even seen that it was all over the place. And I just feel so bad that though this is reality TV, that Carlos allowed her to be displayed in this manner, if that makes sense. In this situation, once you make it to Crimestoppers, you don't need to be on TV. You don't need to be on TV. You are a criminal that they are actively looking for. So this is probably not the best place for you to be, number one. Number two, Kiki is giving a cry out for help. Love and attention. And I think one thing that kind of threw me when it came to Tisha and Kimmi's conversation was when she just I just felt like she kind of gave up on her cousin. I can't keep, running behind her. I can't keep looking out for her. I can't keep. But, in my thoughts and the way I'm understanding, y'all kind of outed old girl. Like y'all outed her and put her information out here for the world to find out, which caused even more stress, in my opinion. So I do feel like that you have a responsibility to look behind her and to, be that supportive cousin. Tisha has told us for years how close her and Kiki grew up being. They went to school together. They were like sisters. So why now turn your back on your sister because she has fallen down and made a mistake that you already know she's having complications and issues with? I don't like it.
Yeah, it's a mess. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Okay, so here it is. Let me tell you something, Diva. Okay, so not feeling Maurice. Okay, let me tell you, I knew he was a bum, but to say no, it's mental. It's not mental. It's you. And I was like, fool, are you crazy? Like, you better be glad it's not lasting her a year and she's trying to actively put herself in a position to do it. Like, I'm like, she's out there getting an egg just to please him. I would have told him where he can go and what he can do with it, okay? I'm telling you, he was staying with me. He wouldn't have no balls right now, okay? I'd have Lorraine bothered him. Martell and Chris, all I'm going to say is, them my birds of a feather and they flock together, okay? They friends for a reason. I ain't gonna put his business out on Front Street, but they flock together. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay.
Um, the Kiki and the Kiki situation. Okay, I'm of two minds. Okay, because I kind of know the backstory. I'm of two minds. One mind is definitely Kiki definitely don't need to be on this show. She
Yeah.
definitely needs some help.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't help somebody until they want the help.
Facts.
I will say Tisha has went and put that girl in there in rehab twice, and the girl has left and said she wants to do outpatient.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you done left twice, outpatient is not for you. You need to go inpatient because if it's gonna keep on happening, I can't do it for you. As much as that girl may want her to get better, I can't do it for you. You gotta want this for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Her sitting there saying she went to the doctor and they can't find out what's wrong with her was me saying, okay, are you making this up to get the pain medicine? Because we all know that's what she was addicted to. I'm like, if a doctor can't find out what's wrong with you, that's usually a sign of somebody that's making it, it's in their head that they have this pain. Because you can't tell me you went to the doctor, they did x-rays, they did CT scans, and they can't find nothing wrong with you to find out where this pain coming from. Just didn't make sense to me. She was all over the place. She had all these business ideas, and I get it. You may want to do a lot of everything, but you got to focus on one thing and master it first before you move on to the next. I
Mm-hmm.
need Kiki to get the help she needs and be better because she got kids that she's raising. For God's sake, I need somebody to reach out to her and say, look, don't do this. Even if you ain't doing it for yourself, do it for those babies because they need you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, she got the classic signs of it. It's very sad. It's very sad. Sheila, your thoughts? Sheila, are you there? All right, let me circle back to Sheila. I'm gonna come to you, Juanita.
Okay, as far as Maurice, now that's just pitiful, just downright disrespectful, the way that he treats Kimmy,
Mm-hmm.
and then the way that she allows it. Now she should have nipped that in the bud in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And like he was saying, uh, what does that mean? What does that mean? She told him to Google it. That's just stupid.
Mm.
What man that really care for his wife? He'd be more concerned. He should be more concerned about her health and her well being and her getting better versus him having sex.
Mm-hmm.
If he's that desperate, get you a doll or something.
Something.
And
Use your hand. I don't give a
yeah,
dog what you do.
there are ways, and he just that's just he's just sickening. I'm beginning not like him. At first, when Kimmy was going through everything, I thought he was good and all, but now I can't stand him because he's just disrespectful and selfish. Okay, now who will we go? Martell. Now Martell, no, what house you gonna be able to just stay
Come on
in
now.
when they give you a deadline and you're gonna keep on? You're gonna make yourself and gonna say the folks can't put you out. They
Oh
had a
my
sheriff.
God. He crazy.
Yeah, the sheriff come there and move your butt out of there. So
Ah,
that don't make sense. And Chris was really going easy on him.
that part. That part.
Because Chris was really pissed off at him. And Kiki and Mel's conversation, that was so sad to watch because Kiki was all over the place. You could tell something was wrong with her. She
Mm-hmm.
went to talking about her back, the poetry, uh, what else was all the stuff that she was talking about she wanted to do. And I mean, you could just tell from the conversation how she was going all around the world, going all in circles, and just never really got to a solid point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that she would go ahead and forget about doing the show. Get yourself well and right first, and then come back and better and tell your story. And then it will be more interesting. But right now, Kiki needs to take care of Kiki.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think she's going to leave, Juanita, because I think she's enjoying the fame, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah.
Enjoying all of the interviews that she's
Attention.
doing. She's enjoying all of this stuff. So I don't picture her leaving, which is very sad. So it would be up to Carlos King to say, you know what, you can always come back, but I'm gonna need you to sit this out and go get some help first,
Yeah,
right?
because all he's doing is exploiting her,
Yep.
and
Yep.
that's sad.
Yeah, it's no different than what they doing to that talent over there at Bravo, because you
Right.
got that what's the name, Shannon now, you know, from the Real
The
Housewives of
DUI. Yeah.
yeah, Orange County. But she's not the only one. Lakeisha, thank you so much for the super chat. She said, "Roy, my ex-husband is Martell, and it's exhausting going through a custody trial. We're praying for you. I would never subpoena my friends or family. I asked them, and they all said yes. For Martell to blindside his friend to testify is sad, very sad. But Marcel, Martell, Marceau, and they're all the same. They think about themselves first. That whole conversation with Chris was about Martell. He said, y'all can't kick me out. He said, you my friend. Why you didn't find me a house? He was like, if you a realtor, and then you're going to be disrespectful to him. He said, if you're a realtor and can't find a house, how do you expect me to find one? I said, child, Chris wasn't ready though. He swept Chris with the broom. Okay. Emmanuel, your thoughts?
Well, at first I thought it was cute that Maurice and Kimmi were riding their bikes, but then that conversation was just awful, and it's so disappointing to hear how he speaks to his wife, because he's treating her as an object, not as the woman of his life who just recovered from a deadly disease. And like, there's ways to talk about certain issues, and it's just that's not how a husband should be supporting his wife. But at the same time, you know what they say: if you like it, I love it. So if Kimmi is like not checking him, then
Right.
what can we do about it? You know what I'm saying? Martell, oh my, I'm gonna need him to grow up, because he has a bunch of kids through his marriage. He had a kid out of wedlock. He is grown, and he has a problem with, he has a lot, he needs to go to therapy, real therapy, not a 5-minute scene that you're doing for the show, real therapy, and work on yourself, because he really, I don't know if he has commitment issues or what it is, but he just needs to really take care of himself. And there's no reason why you should be a grown man and not have a house. You need to get a house, and it's not Chris Fletcher's responsibility, because they're mad that you subpoenaed them, and I guess they're gonna make Chris and Nell part of the cast now. They gave them confessionals and everything.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then the last scene, Kiki also needs to get her life together, because I saw she was throwing drinks at Tisha's face. Like, what is going on? I don't like where this is going. I do feel bad for her. I do feel bad for her situation, but I don't like that she's going to be turning on Tisha. That's her cousin, and I don't know why, but she has a lot of anger towards Tisha, and she's been going off on Tisha's mom. And yeah, so I don't know. I know somebody said like Tisha should be more supportive, but there's just so much you can do. You know what I mean? So
I do.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
You know what the other problem is too, to be very, very honest with you. What is really, really sad is that she is on a crash and burn, and I think the reality show producers, all they care about is getting a show, and they don't care at who is spent, right? So that's why they're keeping her and they're showing all of this. And yeah, somebody said, I think Tisha's fed up. I think she's fed up too. I think she had enough, because after a while with these situations, you get tired, because they're in a vicious cycle. And until they're ready to change their vicious cycle, they're not going to.
Right.
And they will take anybody who gives them drama. And if the fans didn't go off on about Miss Wanda and having Miss Wanda removed,
she'd still be there.
Still be on there, you know, with her shenanigans.
Right.
So until the fans really say, okay, I guess ratings, somebody's saying the ratings, until the fans like really say, okay, come on now, this is a train wreck here waiting to happen. Why? I mean, I get, okay, if you want to say reality, and reality, are there people that are on substance abuse? Absolutely. But I think Kiki is just in a very, very vulnerable space, and this is not it for her.
We can do an episode of intervention for Kiki.
That
You know,
part.
that's my show.
And then I don't know if I misheard. Did she say something about Tisha had a threesome?
Yeah.
She's messy. She's messy.
Well,
and where is her
they're
husband?
all a little messy, but in different ways, right? Because also there's, if you saw the previews, and now they play so many games. So you have to wait till you actually see the show too, right? Because they also are saying that Tisa thinking she pregnant, and Marcel's like, you cheated on me. Because remember, he got the vasectomy. But I didn't even feed into that scene too much, because sometimes they show us stuff and then it'd be a whole nother thing when we actually see the show. So I'm waiting to see how that really plays out for real. Because I can't picture her cheating. But I mean, then when the other girl says she had a threesome, I'm like, well, did somebody else then this threesome get you pregnant? I don't know. It's a lot. Sebastian, your thoughts?
I never had sympathy for Maurice. We all know this. I was actually the first one who caught up on his shenanigans from the beginning. Miss Juanita was my witness. Diva was the one saying, "No, Sebastian, he's a good husband. He's being a good husband." I never believed that bull
He
crap.
fooled me for a minute when she was first diagnosed.
You're right, Sebastian.
I was never fooled for that bull crap.
Mm-hmm.
Maurice is an asshole.
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean. Mm-hmm.
You cannot. This is. Look at Gertie's husband from the Real Housewives of Miami. He is standing with her, and she just finished ringing her chemo bell not too long ago. Maurice, when I see him, I just want to punch things out of his face, because the thoughts that he's having and etc. It clearly shows there's something wrong with the Scott DNA. We had the brother up on this screen here. We spoke about Marcel, and now look at Maurice. Clearly, they all have something wrong with them, and I don't know where it comes from. You cannot do that. You cannot. She is hurting. She is going through something, and also the medication that she takes will suppress those feelings that you want her to have. Why are you forcing her? This is a problem. Sex should not be a priority in your marriage. 100%. It should not be the priority. That is not what you do your vows for. Come on, this is disgusting, and it's really, it irks me, the fact that they're airing these type of things. They air these type of things on national television is what I have an issue with. I think Kiki, this is going to be harsh, but I'm going to say it. Kiki is a functioning, in my opinion, I believe Kiki is a functioning addict. She should not even be in this country, point blank, period. She needs to do her rehab abroad, where there is no easy access to certain substances like alcohol and other types of substances. It's too chaotic. It's too chaotic. It's too chaotic for her to be out in these streets in America, because it's easier to get substances out here.
She's gonna have to come back though, right? So,
well, she's a professor. She could go teach abroad. This is problematic, and I'm shocked she's still employed at that university for her behavior and etc. Carlos King, my message to you is, you air this nonsense of Maurice disrespecting his wife with a condition that killed your own mama. This is completely wrong. And I'm done. That's it. I can't.
I appreciate you. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I guess in some sense, it's reality, right? We hate when they make stuff fake and they make stuff up. But it's just sad to watch, and it's disappointing because I'm feeling like Kimmi feels like this is all she got to accept this. Because remember, Kimmi did a whole interview backing him up. She did a whole interview backing him up when they showed part 1 of this season, and the fans was outraged. She did an interview backing him up. So I mean, what can we say if she's cool with it? So she backed him up in this interview, but then you do this scene here and you calling him a butthole. Well, girl, which one you want to do? Which one you doing? Because you backed him up. You understood. And now he's still coming at your neck, want you to drop it low and spread it wide. And you're talking about he's being insensitive. Why? You might as well keep spreading it wide and faking it.
And they're doing mattress commercials too. Y'all saw that one?
I saw it.
No.
I saw it. Robin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that was news to me about mattress commercials.
Who's doing mattress commercials?
He just said that Kimmi and Maurice.
Kimmi and Maurice.
Kimmi Maurice, yeah. They partnered up with that mattress firm, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting. Well, okay. So 2 things. One is please, you don't necessarily have to respond to this, Sebastian. I was very surprised to hear you advocating for the resettlement of an American citizen to another country due to the fact that they have substance use diagnosis. That's kind of weird, but I'm gonna leave you alone with that. I just am so, and you also wait. You also said something about how Maurice views his marriage, or you kind of define marriage. And I think that Maurice, I don't think that any of the Scott brothers have, I think they have a very specific view of marriage. And it's not about a partnership, in my opinion. It's about having a docile female counterpart that they can take advantage of, gaslight, lie to, cheat on, use, abuse, and do it again tomorrow. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. I do not like how any of them behave. I do not like seeing how any of them interact, not only with their spouses, but with women outside of the people in their familial relationships. I think that they have a general disregard for the female gender. I believe they have a superiority complex that is based in their own inferior skills, knowledge, and abilities. I'm going to stop now because I'm getting mean.
Yeah, no, but I understand what you're saying, Robin. Thank you. Dustin, what are your thoughts? Dustin, are you there? Well, sometimes it takes a minute to come off of mute. All right, I'm gonna move on to Savannah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me, Dion?
Yep, I can.
Okay. Oh boy, where to start? So Martell has never been held accountable by anyone. First, Miss Marlene has coddled him and wiped his nose and wiped his butt, even as a grown man. And then there was Melanie who covered him up and I never allowed him to really be a man. And she knew that Martell had all these faults on him, and then Ariane and Sheree and all the other ones. So Martell's never been held accountable. And he knew for 6 to 8 months that this house was on the market. And I was so confused. I was like, is this his property? Is it Chris's property and somebody bought it? Because if it's Chris's property, I would, and he's checking Chris for coming in, I'm going to deduct $100 from the rent because you allowed somebody to walk through my home and bring mud in the house. This is still my house. I'll come in here dripping ice cream cold if I want to. You living here. I mean, I was so confused at this scene. I was like, the arrogance and the narcissism of this man.
From a homeless man.
From a homeless man. I was just like, okay. And and I have family that have that, don't come in the house with shoes.
Right.
And I've sold homes before, and then you wear the booties and you do put them by the front door. If that's a rule in your house, then put the booties by the front door. But this man wanted it all done for him. And I was just like, oh my goodness, he really irked my nerves. He has his little boy mindset, and he thinks everything is a joke and cute. And I didn't understand him. He frustrated the F out of me on Friday. Now, Kimmi, it- Kimmi, it reminds me why I don't like this show. And Kimmi was my favorite when this show started.
Same
I
here.
was I was like, there's this strong, beautiful woman, career woman, and rebuilding her life, with second marriage. I mean, I really, out of all of them, I really liked Kimmi, and to see what she is accepting, because I'm not going to put all the blame on Maurice. He is who he is. He's a pig. He's a Neanderthal. I am sick of this sex story. There's nothing else going on in your life.
Right.
Absolutely nothing else. This young man is getting ready to go to college soon. You should be speaking of preparing him, as you have gone through that recently. It's a whole process to get a young adult ready for school. Like, I want to hear about something else besides his pleasure. I just don't understand. And then the way she's not, it seems like it makes her skin just cringe. And I've had, at the end of the last season, I honestly had to pray, because at a moment I second guess, was Kimmy's story real? Was she really going through? Because I could not see, as a cancer survivor, as she was going through all of this, how she was allowing herself to be treated and portrayed. But when I seen her on the TGIF interview, I knew that she was willing, a willing accomplice. She was right there for the story. So I'm not going to be an advocate. If you hey, you're his cheerleader, you're going to cover it, whatever it is. So, um, and Miss Kiki, my heart goes to her, and that's where I was saying she was all over the place for me. I really think, yes, she is battling something, but I also think she has anxiety, and I don't think she's ready to be in front of the camera. She has some inner demons that she needs to battle, and I don't think she has a support group, whether it be, definitely not her family, because Tisha and her were really close at one time. And now, if I'm close with my cousin, regardless what you go through, I'm going to be there for you. I'm not going to be the first one to drag you in your situation, especially in front of the public. So it broke my heart, and she really needed someone to hear everything that she had going on or wanted to do. So that's why she dumped it all on Mel. But sending her to another country, I hope it's not Europe, because in Europe they wake up drinking beer, go to bed drinking. I mean, so I know we're not talking about Europe. So I don't know where else we're gonna be sending Miss Kiki. That's way out the park for me. But I'm gonna ride this one to the end to see. But I will continue to pray for Miss Kiki.
Yeah, I'm praying for it too. And I will say this. When I think Kimmi, wait, hold on 1 second. Lakeisha, thank you so much for the super chat. Kimmi relationship was always like this. All those couples use conflict with Mel for 5 seasons as a storyline, so it was easy to hide. You know what? You're speaking facts. You are speaking
That
facts.
is true. That
That's
is so
true.
true.
Now that's not working anymore. So their reality is exposed. Well, you hit the nail on the head. I was also going to say this. So thank you so much for that comment in the super chat. I will say this also though. Kimmi lost her steam when she was okay, when Letitia's alleged infidelity you know, and when Marcel's alleged infidelity was coming out. But the minute they had some type of proof, allegedly, that Maurice was wrapped up in the infidelity too, I seen Kimmi lose her steam. She lost it in 2.2 seconds. She was fighting against her own sister-in-law for a very long time. And she didn't turn those tables around, because she even said at one reunion that if they wasn't sister-in-law, she would never even be friends with Letitia. And then once it came out that there was a little bit more proof that Maurice was definitely at that event where they met, what's his name, Martell's, you know, baby mother, and she's the one that took the picture of all of them. Ever since then, I did not see Kimmi be right on that show with Maurice. It's like she lost all her confidence, lost all her steam, her self-esteem, and it just went downhill from there. From before that, she had a lot of mouth. She had a lot of mouth. And I think it's sad that this is what we're seeing in couples. It's always like every time any one of these shows seem to show a couple of color, it's always problematic in some way, shape, or form. And maybe, yeah, it is reality, but can we get a couple? And I'm not saying they can't never have a fight or anything, but this stuff we're seeing is just insane. It's insane. And like you said, I'm over this sex, you know, storyline. I'm like done with it. They got nothing better to offer. He's a lawyer. They claim they have all these businesses that they're opening. Give us something more. But what they're giving us right now, I cannot. I'm really, really over it. I am going to watch this to the end. Also, do you disagree that the sex, do y'all all disagree that sex is mental and physical? It is a mixture of both. But the problem I'm having with him is he's saying that it's strictly her mind because her body parts work. He's saying it's strictly her mind. The stupidity of that is, there are victims that are SA'd, follow what I'm saying, and victims that are R'd, and their bodies will function, and their bodies aren't functioning because they enjoy it. So it's deeper than that. And yes, the medication, you know, can definitely put you in it. But I think with her too, I think where the mental's coming in, you really want to sit there and get into it with a man that's kind of keep pressuring you and badgering you about it. That's who you want to get intimate with. I don't know. I wouldn't. And like she ended up saying in a minute, she said it is going to just be mental. Yeah, it can be. It's a mixture of all of the above. It's at chronic, like the comatose patient that gives birth. Absolutely. So yeah, so it is a mixture. Listen, guys, thank you so much. Okay. This was our recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's definitely a mixture of both. Love and Marriage Huntsville. And listen, guys, okay, and that's why some, and sometimes the mental and the physical don't connect, and that's why some, people fake it. Anyway, that's a whole nother story.
And that's also why some people are extremely promiscuous too.
Yeah. No, you're speaking facts, Sebastian. Well, Sebastian, at the end of the train ride, you're connecting. I love you, though.
Well, there is one stop where we all gotta pop off.
There's always hope.
Always hope. Carrie, we miss you. I wanted to hear your comments. Okay. But thank you for your super chat. She said, Peter treated Cynthia the same way when she was struggling with fibroids. Sad and insensitive. You're right. I forgot all about that. You are correct. He sure did. A mess. And you see where their relationship ended up at. Now, I ain't dealing with all that. You got to listen. We got to be on the same page. And, they said through sickness and health. I mean, this man making her cook the day before she go to surgery. She worrying about if he's going to be able to eat or not. He's a grown man. Call Uber Eats. Anyway, DoorDash, whatever, do something. Listen, guys, thank you so much for coming through. Tomorrow night we will be doing trending topics. I'm glad y'all here, and I'm glad we came under 2 hours today. Listen, guys, if you didn't hit that like button on the way in or while you was at the show, hit it on the way out. I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Thanks for being here. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.